all doing fantastic today. Let me see what's up. This is not correct. Let me set this camera properly. Woo! Works. Okay. Nice. Welcome everyone. Okay. Good stuff. Test 1, 2, 3. Let's get right into the video.
So
Shiba
if Shiba
Inu 2021. Can it sorry about that. Can it recover to all-time highs? That would be absolutely fantastic. But if not, what happens next?
Inu wants to make a major comeback, if SHIB wants to come back to at least to
the traders want to make a major comeback because it will mean a lot of money. That's the main thing.
Is where it was back in 2021, and even think about setting new all-time highs, I believe a few things need to happen. 3 in particular. We're going to outline all of those in this video. And if you guys don't know who I am, or maybe you're brand new to crypto, I was part of, the first few people who started talking about.
Same for me. I started same day as Zach Humphreys, except like I quit my channel, unfortunately. Zach has been one of the most consistent streamers you could possibly imagine. So that's something that, matters with Shiba Inu. These people, they can just keep going even if time passes, and that's what really matters. And the community is still here after 4 years. So yeah, I've been also one of the key OG guys. I'm washed now, but we guys, like what we're trying to point to make is we had experience of seeing the downfall of SHIB and the massive climb of SHIB as well. So both sides you could see.
About SHIB back in 2021. SHIB launched in August 2020. I know the history very, very well. And I found SHIB in early 2021, started creating content about it. It was the most insane story ever. Now, things have kind of slowed down, obviously, after the bear market. And meme coins right now just aren't the flavor. But we'll talk about that as we roll along. I still think there's a chance. And, I've made some videos.
And it's hard for, Shiba Inu to suddenly stay at the top all the time. That's also the thing. It's just really, really hard at that point for it to stay 100%.
Recently talking about how frustrated I am. And I wanted to kind of turn that frustration in this video into, okay, because of what's going on, what could actually change and flip the script for SHIB? All right. So if you guys appreciate this, go ahead and smash the like button. I know you guys are going to love it because I'm going to give you guys some really good insight and information based on my 5-year experience and with being part of the SHIB ecosystem and being on the ground level of this whole crypto market now for the last half decade. So subscribe down below if you haven't already, all that great stuff. Before we get into kind of my roadmap, let's go ahead and at least do this. We'll share the screen up here. And this is kind of the all-time chart where we are. We are coming up on some crucial support zones right now. SHIB's approaching one of the strongest historical support zones in its entire chart history. We'll take a look at that a little bit later.
So yeah, it's good at building up like some level of support because that's what people are waiting for. People want to have a reason to trust it at that point.
Right now, guys, SHIB is 90 to 91% down from its all-time high. So a lot of people are like, hey, how much lower could it go, right? And I agree with some of that. I mean, we are in this strong support zone from the 8 level here to all the way down to the 6. And again, this is like the 508, 506 level. This has been a very, very strong support zone. We saw it in the bear market come down to these levels for a while in the bear market, mind you.
It's hard to also recover from that. That's bad.
And it was a great accumulation zone. And we got the pop. We got up to, all the way up to 4 zeros, 4, right? Most recently, back in 2024, we had that pop in like March. And then we had another pop in late 2024, right around this.
So yeah, this was a try to rally, but couldn't. Guys, smash that like button as well. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below.
This time last.
So yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, XRP overtook the community plus utility.
Last year, about a year ago. We got up to those levels again. But I wanted to talk about, SHIB, and we'll take a look at the chart here in a little bit and talk about this price action. But bringing it back, full screen here for a second, because I just want to talk at you guys. And in my opinion here, there's three things that must change. And the price is stalled, momentum's faded, all that stuff, the ecosystem, it feels like it's focusing on everything except the token right now that built the brand Shiba Inu. But here's the truth. I don't think SHIB is completely dead. It's still a top 25 crypto. There's still a clear path here to recovery if these major shifts happen that I'm going to talk about. So I want to break down how exactly SHIB could fully recover from a price standpoint, three conditions that could reignite it. The first thing, in my opinion, what needs to happen is a refocus back on SHIB, the native asset. Right now, the frustration in the SHIB community is not.
That's very true. I kind of agree with that. A lot of the projects were nothing burger, unfortunately. Like, you know, Zach is very, very focused on that, but a lot of the SHIB community was actually very mad about that part as well. So it does make total sense here.
Not about the lack of innovation, it's about the lack of direction. And the ecosystem expanded into Shiba Swap, Metaverse, Leash Bone, NFTs, side tokens for side projects. And
a lot of these projects are gone now.
Problem with this is every new token created pretty much diluted the attention and the value capture away from SHIB itself. And that's what built this whole thing. But imagine this. Imagine if SHIB is the centerpiece. Everything is built to benefit SHIB. That's what we were told, but it's not really what's happening, right? So SHIB didn't really blow up because of utility back in 2021. It blew up because of identity and community. And I think they're losing that identity and they're slowly losing that community. There's still a strong community there. There's still a strong support, and they can still capture new people who come into crypto. We're still waiting for that big new like wave of retail, right? But the brand is still one of the strongest in crypto. It just needs more alignment.
That's what I
refocus
agree
makes
about.
SHIB
This is what I'm
the
worried.
economic engine, not the billboard. And so,
yeah, that kind of makes sense here. Is like if they just focus on the core aspects of SHIB,
right?
Imagine where we could go from here. Like absolutely a bull market.
Correctly, when the new wave returns, there's still a really good opportunity for more price discovery. Okay. And the other thing I think
trust. Trust is super important in crypto as well.
Needs to happen here is just a simple roadmap. Simplify everything. Right now, SHIB's roadmap feels like
there was a lot of drama in the SHIB community as well.
Opportunity.
Don't forget that. So much drama we saw.
We're building a metaverse. We're building a DEX. We're doing this. We're doing that. We've got tokens. We're doing gaming. We're doing layer 2. We're doing NFTs. And we're also solving world hunger. Maybe. Like, that's what it feels like to me. Crypto holders don't need all this complexity. They need confidence. They just need something they can look at and say, okay, I see what this is. Okay.
Year 1, we do this. Year 2, we do that. Year 3, we do these 3 things. And that's it. It's that simple.
Cool. A simple, achievable, transparent roadmap, right? And let's bring some real use case linking back to SHIB, revenue distribution or incentive directly to SHIB holders. One big clear vision, not 10 foggy ones that people can't sift through. Crypto doesn't reward the project doing the most. It rewards the project doing one thing extremely well and branding it better than anyone else. You have the built up community. So could Shiba Inu recover? Yeah, but only under these conditions. It needs to refocus the entire ecosystem back on SHIB, ride the next wave of retail momentum, and build a roadmap that's simple for when that next wave of retail, when it comes in, you can actually execute and directly benefit the holders. SHIB's brand's still massive. The community's still loud. But do they have the right leadership at the top to drive this mission forward? Momentum requires direction. Direction requires clarity. If SHIB can return to its roots while maturing its mission, we may not just see a survival.
I fully agree with Zach here. Like, I still think there's potential for SHIB, but a lot of people left. And there's still some that are holding, like the large whales have also dumped. So who's going to keep holding?
See a revival. So let me ask you guys, do you think SHIB can recover? Yes or no? I want you guys to answer that in the comments. And, hopefully the devs start listening to some of this stuff. I would love to interview the devs, get them on. Like, why aren't they out there talking? I would love to do a breakdown. So tag all the devs on this. I would love it. I would love it. And before we get up on out of here, though, I do want to go ahead and take a look at the price action again. I mentioned where we are right now on the weekly chart, you know, let's zoom out and go to the monthly actually, because SHIB's been out for a really long time. You can see where we are. See where we were back in 2023 at this like 7-6 level. I mean, this has been long support zones for us for a really long time. We're getting back down to those bear market levels, right? So we've got an opportunity here, even if we get a price pop back up, you know, to like the 4044 level, you know, that's a nice move. If we draw a line from where we are right now back up to even like those peaks, we're talking about almost a 500% move just to get back halfway to all-time highs, which, hey, you know, that would be great, right? Great returns, great trade. But guys, that's what I wanted to break down for you. Again, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments.
I kind of agree with that, but like, you know, every hype we have is going to be smaller and smaller until SHIB changes something significant. This is something I'm worried about. Let's go to XRP now. XRP, Bitcoin, I am ready. It's almost time. Time for what? Time for the price to hit maybe $3 again? No, it's not time yet. We still have to wait.
Shorts over the last few months.
So yeah, very
now
scary.
We're at a point that anything could set this off. And I say set it off, and a lot of people think, hey, nah, man, if you miss one day, it's over. You miss everything. It's not the case. And I'm going to show you some things in this video to give you an idea and where we're at and why I'm ready. I am set to go. The volatility today is just crazy as well. More of that. There's a lot to look at. Now, for those who've been asking, I know a lot of people say, hey, what do we got? I got a code for you. Code LEARN. Take your learning to the next level. We got this for the holidays. First link down below to get the master courses of technical analysis or options or crypto. All right, and this is for beginners. For the crypto, the options and technicals are my master classes. They are pure fire. You want to learn and earn? Use code LEARN for any of these. You get a bundle. We knocked almost $1,000 off. Code LEARN knocks another $425 off. So any of these course bundles or courses individually, use code LEARN.
So yeah, you guys get the idea. XRP still on a moving downtrend. Nothing changed. You know, we're still seeing every time we try to push for a higher high. Look, we're trying to push for a higher high here. We tried to do that before at 0.22. And we see another big drop. Back to $2, right? So this tells me the whales are dumping it now.
4 for the 50 EMA. Bollinger Bands tightening. This is what I meant about a massive short squeeze if this turns bullish. You can see the RSI though at 42. We are still bearish there. Bearish on the EMAs. We're underneath the 50, underneath the 5, underneath the 13. The 5 and the 13 just crossed. So still bearish. But once this flips, once this goes, I think it's going to be silly. I mean in a good way. I think a lot of people piled in at 120-something thousand. 115, 105.
I mean, a lot of people are just waiting to sell it for more, and some who get bored might sell it for less. It's that simple. And, you know, so many people are now complaining that XRP is down in my comments already.
95, and now we're down here at 90, and so, or 89, so we'll see what happens. But once they all start taking their profits and they start running with it, watch out. Bad news, we hit off the 50 RSI, pushed back down. We could retest back above and get above. That signal would tell me that the bulls are in charge once we get above the...
Yeah. It definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense. This is the thing right now. Like, bulls are trying to go for another rally, but it's not working yet. Every time they try to rally again, it seems like the bulls are getting pushed back. It makes me scared.
Check out all 4 of these. When you get into Ethereum, same situation, 50 EMA coming down. It's now at 33.21. Look at this. Big doji, big time doji right there. We're at 3,035. That's it. The 5 and 13 are all kind of right here. Bollinger Bands tight. Looking for a breakout up or down. We're underneath the 50 RSI at 46. That's bearish. We're underneath.
This, you don't have to understand the charts to just understand that the whales right now, they are obviously dumping all their XRP. Why are they dumping their XRP is because they do not believe that we are going to get 3.66 for another few months. And I tend to believe the whales at this point
Beneath the 50, that's bearish. We do got higher lows here, which is a nice short-term bullish, but we do not want to push back down.
Guys, smash that like button as well. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, you get it. You get it, guys. This is the problem right now. A lot of the whale traders, they are simply trying to push out right now.
Oh man, 27.96. We finished below there. That's not good. The big line I have is down there, roughly 27.18, 16. You know, 27.50. We do not want to lose that. Well, so we'll see. Move to XRP. Get into XRP. Checking out what we got here. Same situation. 513. Cross back over after a flip flop here. Hey, we're bullish. No, we're not. And we're back down at these lows right here. And we didn't want to finish lower than this. Close here today. We'll see. But this is looking like the bears are still here, but the support is right here over the last week. If we can push back up on Monday, look out, because I think that's a good signal and we can start moving. Still bearish though. 50's coming down. We're down at 228 on the 50 EMA. Yeah, and we're at 203. We're fighting it out, man. We're fighting it out. And then Bollinger being tight. Go to Solana.
I mean, the whales are dumping just because they bought it at a very cheap price and now they can afford to dump it.
Check out Solana, see what we're doing there. We got all kinds of things to check out. But Solana, when you look at this one, down we came. We hit that support. You hit it here. Had a double bottom here. Started pushing up. Had the flip of the 5 and the 13. I got excited. Not going to lie to you. I thought maybe we had a chance. Bollinger Band, tight. My best Breaking Bad impression there. There you go. 5 hits it, comes back down. And like I said, we're seeing a little bit of red today. 130 price, right? 131 right now. We're at that support level. I don't want to give up. I'll put another line here. We fail at this line, it gets ugly. I think we drop down to that other line I have here. If that confirms below here. So, and I got that other line down at 105. We do not want that. And that's kind of what I'm watching for all of this. Now, the good news, because I know you guys are thinking, Mo, it seems like everything you're telling me is bearish. Well, it is. That's why you're watching, man. Hit the like button. Put FF in the comments down below. If you're on this trip with me to financial freedom, FF in the comments and where you're watching from today, because we're going to...
It really makes you wonder, like right now for XRP, all I can say is the whales do not give up. The whales have had enough. The whales are just over with it. And this is the important factor. Even, you know, with all the drops we had, the whales do not care about where the bottom is, and you know the bulls are trying to push it back above. So just let that sink in. It's a pretty big factor here, and it's not like they're gonna just stop selling. They're gonna keep selling because they bought at 1.87 and they can slowly sell off until they're out. It makes total sense for them. It is a scary thought though that these whales could be here for a long time.
You too. What?
Prepare fast. This is going for the last minute.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Whatever you're doing, stop. Turn up the volume. You gotta listen because look, XRP, the US takeover, it's no longer a theory. It's happening right now. I'm talking government bills, banking corridors flipping on, and a switch that could go live any minute. And when it does, XRP, it won't just move, it's gonna redefine the American financial system. Today, I'm showing you why insiders are calling XRP the next digital gold, why regulators are suddenly flipping bullish, and why institutions are positioning themselves like they know something huge is coming. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're gonna understand exactly why XRP's moment is no longer someday, it's today. Let's go.
This is what I like about XRP. There's always something to talk about, always something small, no matter how small, how big. I really like that, you know, people are just hearing more and more news that they can return to, and this is why people have returned at this point to XRP as well. So it makes me consider, like, what happens next.
Volume through the roof. Banks, they're going to plug in overnight. Liquidity is going to pour in. The infrastructure Ripple has quietly been building for over the past decade. It would snap into place like a puzzle, completing itself. And that's why everyone is saying XRP isn't just another crypto. I've been saying it for the past 8 years. It is positioning itself.
This is why, like, a lot of key players are staying with XRP, because it can survive 13 years in the crypto space. Just let that sink in. 13 years.
As the digital commodity powering America's next financial era. Now watch this, because things get even crazier. While everyone is on Twitter arguing about regulations, timelines, oh, we're in a bull market, a bear market. Who cares? Jake's out here and he said something absolutely insane. He said the US can start using XRP today. And look, he's right. Let's listen to this clip real quick.
It's got the most clarity of anything else aside from Bitcoin here in the US until the Clarity Act is passed. And so if there were a systemic crisis where you needed a liquidity provision or an exchange rate peg, they could absolutely start using XRP today to be able.
Now, this is what I don't agree with. Like, you know, they're saying that XRP could hit $100,000 if the markets fail. I don't agree with this theory, unfortunately.
To settle that real time on the back end of the stock market with the DTCC. And when I was at Swell here recently, they had the president of NASDAQ interviewed by Monica Long the first day. And she actually said that the first place that they're going to start using distributed ledger technology is to settle the back end of the stock market with DTCC and reconcile the trades.
Wow.
And I was like, sure, that's interesting. I wonder who's been talking about that with Project Ion for a while. So I think that at scale, people are used to volatility in crypto because of the speculation. There'll be FOMO, price runs up, and then a large whale will sell, or there will be shorts that are opened through the CME or other markets. And then we see things fall aggressively back down 90% or more in bear markets. Once these assets have enough liquidity in them for them to start being used, there'll be sustained volume, similar to what we've seen for the Bitcoin ETFs and why we haven't seen so much volatility this cycle. If you have consistent buy and sell volume at scale, it'll hold price stability for these assets. And I think that's what you're going to see with XRP. Once it's pushed up above $100, they will start leveraging to settle the back end of some of these markets, and it will not come back down and see the prices that we're seeing today, in my personal opinion. So there may be a play there. Maybe it jumps up above where they need it and it pulls back and there's a price floor at some point because of the volume it's being used to settle things for. And then that provides a backstop.
Look, Ripple spent years becoming one of the most compliant, interconnected blockchain companies in the United States. They built the plumbing. They secured partnerships. They integrated with payment corridors. They got the licenses. They built the rails before the money moves. XRP is not waiting for approval. The infrastructure is already sitting there ready. The minute the US...
This is what I don't agree with. Like, a lot of YouTubers are saying, like, they would be using XRP. They absolutely would not. You know, I don't think there's any reason for them to use XRP. They would just be using gold. Yes, the technology is there, but they can control gold. They have lots of gold. They're not holding any XRP. They'd have to buy the XRP with dollars. What would they buy it if the dollar is gone? Like, yes, in theory, like, they could pick XRP as the payment currency, but there's 10 other better options. They could use the euro, they could use the yen, whatever you name it. I really don't understand this theory that people have been talking about. So I'm probably the only person that doesn't buy it.
Gives that green light. Boom, folks. That's it. Every institution that's been sitting on the sidelines, they can fire up XRP powered settlement instantly. And when people say XRP,
I mean, they can do that already.
is built for real world utility, this is what they're talking about. Speed, compliance, liquidity.
So yeah, makes me wonder. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, big whales are buying, big institutions are buying, but it's not like they're going to suddenly replace the XRP hype.
Might have limited spaces until the new year. Now let's talk about Ripple's new commercial they put out talking about RLUSD, because this is going to bring us into a massive piece of information that just dropped over the weekend. So Ripple's RLUSD, it's stepping into a world where money moves 24/7, just like an email, right? It's going to be programmable, automated, instant. And we're not just talking stable coins. This is the beginning of the smart financial system. Let's watch.
So we at BCG, we're super optimistic when it comes to stablecoins. By 2030, we estimated and expect that 2.5 to 3 trillion of US dollar will be in stablecoins.
Stablecoins are having a moment, and Ripple's.
I mean, stable coins are cool, but I do not think they're going to replace suddenly the, whole system that we have already established over the many, many years. And you guys can prove me wrong in the comments. I could be totally illiterate on this. I'm not, expert, and it's not financial advice, but this is just my personal opinion. So we're still a far way ahead. But this is good because this means XRP has an upside potential, right? If XRP was already set up, well, that would be a problem.
RLUSD is having a moment. We believe those issuers that have the most enterprise-grade focus on regulation, compliance, and transparency will be those that prevail.
You're going to see payroll running automatically, cross-border payments settling while you sleep, corporate treasuries moving money at the speed of an API call. And RLUSD, it's being engineered as a first-class citizen in that environment. Stablecoins aren't a trend anymore. They're the new rails, the new economy, the new standard. And Ripple is making moves globally to ensure that RLUSD is positioned exactly where the future is headed. We're talking about this coming over to you from your one and only news website where you should be tracking all your Ripple and XRP news plus all the ETF.
So it kind of makes sense at this point. What's happening is a lot of people are going big on XRP. They're going doubling down.
Gold. And so Bitcoin has a market cap today of roughly, 1.8 trillion, and gold has a market cap of roughly 18 trillion. And so for Bitcoin to cross that market cap, I mean, that's roughly, a 10x from here. So roughly $900,000 a coin. I think we're going to see $1 million a coin. Does that happen in the next few years? Maybe, maybe not. But I definitely think that within the next year, we will see Bitcoin cross $200,000. And I think that what's going to happen is again, the Fed is going to cut interest rates. Trump is talking about handing out these stimmies to all across America. So I think that's going to add a little bit of a bullish narrative to this as well. And then again, I think with the midterms coming up, you may see the United States want to start eyeing Bitcoin and put it in the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And we just had Texas, the 8th largest economy of the world, buy Bitcoin and put Bitcoin on its balance sheet. How many other states are going to follow?
They're all going to follow. And let's just be honest about this. When Bitcoin rises, everything else is going to rise with it, especially compliant utility assets like XRP. The tide is coming. Your institutional wave is here. But if you think that's bullish, well, you haven't seen anything yet, folks, because look at this. Wall Street is buying like they know something big is coming.
So yeah, this is the important factor. Wall Street also has to buy because of the ETF shares, if you guys didn't know. So I'm maybe on the other side of the coin on this. This is why Wall Street has been buying a lot lately, is for this simple reason. They just have to buy it because of the ETFs itself, except BlackRock potentially. BlackRock has been selling a lot of Bitcoin. That's how they got their money. So it really does make sense here, but the price reflects the action. Always remember that. The price is what really determines the hype. So how XRP can easily reach 100 per coin. I like Matthew Perry. Again, lots of utilities needed to reach 100, but you guys get it, what we need to do next.
What's up, you guys?
XRP 200, if you had $1,000, that would mean a 50x. It means you had 50K from $1,000, which is not too crazy. But again, a lot of XRP would need to be burned to hit those amounts.
Guys, it's Matt here. So I've gone through my plan for XRP quite a few times. especially as I added more XRP to my portfolio. You know, when I was at 3,000, I felt a different way about XRP than I do now, where I'm at hundreds of thousands, right? I was able to buy in pretty low before you saw the massive amount of hype that came along with XRP. Yes, there was always hype and always a community behind it, but then once you start to see things explode, you have a boatload of people that are just trying to jump on the bandwagon or just trying to get in on the hype. And usually those are the people that, no offense to anybody that did get there, those are the first people that will complain.
We saw this with Shiba Inu. A lot of people have left SHIB before it even reached its peak because they did not trust it. So imagine, like, so many people had just enough of SHIB and just wanted to leave at that point.
About the price drop, right? Going up to a $3.65 price, and you're like, oh, this is going crazy. We know it's going to go to higher levels, but us being invested in at 50 cents or a dollar look a lot worse, right? Look like we're in the best spot in the world compared to someone that got in at $3.65. So those people that invest in at $3 to $3.65, and as they see the retracements that happen from those levels, will get upset with you because you're talking about higher prices than where they even bought at, but it's not at those higher prices now. Know that the markets will fluctuate, right? We will see highs, we will see lows, we will see it go up and then retrace down to a lower point, up, retrace down to a low point. But ultimately, when you look at the bigger picture, 10,000 foot, 100,000 foot view, you can see that it's climbing the mountain, right? Whether it's going up and going back down, going up, going back down, the ultimate trend is up, right? So that's what we expect from that. But
like, we gotta form higher lows and higher highs if it wants to ever see good price recovery. We gotta see like higher lows and higher highs. Let me show you guys here. Bam. And then go back down. Go back down and then suddenly back up, right? Makes total sense. And then that's a higher low, see? And higher high. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we want to see.
I know that XRP, right, in my opinion, right, I believe that XRP will get to $100 per coin, right? It has the ability to get there. It could easily get.
It has the ability, but will it? Really, will it? Because we need to actually see it do that as well.
There. It's not saying it's 100% because anything could happen within these processes. It depends on the different things that are implemented, the different use cases, the adoption, the push for this position versus anything else, the time frame. It depends on a lot of different things. So it could easily get to these levels. Knowing that it can easily get to these levels, you should find abilities or the ability to accept lower levels there, right? $20, $30, $50, $5, $10, $20, whatever, right? You're accepting these lower levels knowing that that's the ultimate peak point with everything going as planned. But if things start to fall through, maybe you're at $99 of a peak point. Maybe you're at $97 of a peak point. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much room for error and improvement. And while we see what we see, I still only have a certain level of tunnel vision because there's so many things that could happen outside of the scope of adoption, right? The scope of the government taking over the crypto or having a reserve or big banks being a major part in utilizing XRP, right? That we know that it could be better. It could also be worse. But if we know what that peak point is, we know we can accept a lot in between. And this is why I have exit plans that are set up.
This is why you got to take profit, because when people get greedy, that's when it becomes a big problem. Again, people getting greedy is the biggest issue. The whales dumping on the followers, on the holders, that's where we have a big problem because people can't sustain it. They keep buying more and more, and then these whales are dropping everything. It's a very scary thought.
4, 5, 20, 30, 50, 100, right? Those levels. So what we're going to talk about in this video is how easily XRP could get to $100 per coin. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. If you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, feel free to do so. That link is in the description. It'll be at the top of the description. If you specifically use my link, you will get it.
So yeah, guys, also for me, if you want to start getting trading on XRP and learn with me, simply click the link description below as well. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. And let's get back to the video. So XRP, as we said, it needs to form higher highs to see XRP. First to see, you know, $100 XRP, we need to go way ahead and, you know, start small. We need to start back at 3.66.
A 10% deposit bonus. You can get extra bonuses up to $10,055. You can also get 40% lower trading fees. So there's a lot of things that are going on with this. And again, if you specifically use my link here, there's also a giveaway that's going on. So we scroll down.
So yeah, you got the idea.
It's random volume in the last 24 hours. The circulating supply is sitting at about 60 billion coins, and then you have a max supply of 100 billion with a total supply, because you do have burns or a natural deflationary aspect of it, 99.98 billion coins. Now, there's a lot.
People forget one reason with that is burns. Burns are a massive advantage. And I would really expect, like, if we had some sort of utility to burn the tokens, people would be happy. Of course, like, those burns are very small at that point, but it's a great start for XRP holders.
Going for XRP when it comes to being in the news, when it comes to being in conversations with banks, partnerships with businesses, partnerships with, or conversations with governments, and just being in the room when it comes to discussing cryptocurrency, being the largest American or U.S. cryptocurrency, you know, parent company and cryptocurrency itself, it's set in a good spot, right? I think XRP has a lot of promise. Now, there's so much that could happen with all of these things, right? When it comes to cross-border payments, it comes to simple transactions, it comes to bank transactions and making it ease of use there. Standard investments, as you're holding those, you know, XRP coins for potential use, as well as potential growth within them, treating them as an appreciating asset, as well as a currency to be able to use. There's so much light at the end of the tunnel that, you know, people really only see what they see, right? They only see what's happening here, but there's so much left on the table. Now, I believe that XRP can easily reach $100 per coin. Now, as we grow in the overall supply, it gets a little bit more difficult, because you look at the market cap and you're like, how can you justify a market cap of, you know, multiple trillions of dollars? But when you look at something that could be literally the face of cryptocurrency, past Bitcoin, past Ethereum, that's something that you have to take you know, into account here, right? So when I look at my, let's say, exit plan spreadsheet, right? This is
my exit plan with XRP is first seeing if we can go back to $3. And, you know, taking profit is so important. Like, it's all about math once XRP goes to a certain price level.
One that I built more recently to go over different prices that I plan to sell at. Even though I believe it's going to get to a $100 price point, you can see all of these price points to where I'm taking certain amounts, you know, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000, 50,000 in the beginning, right? Because you have, if you accept that it can get to these points, and it can easily get to those points, you give it the life to do so, right? You're not selling all of it at a $5 point. You're
exactly. You're taking profit to perhaps reinvest.
Giving it the ability to get to that $7 point, to get to that $10 point, that $20 point, right? And that's what I'm looking at there, right? You're looking at something that could possibly take over as the main digital currency that's being used not only in the US but around the world. If you just look at the currencies or the fiat currency and the flow of fiat currency now, right? The amount of money that's in circulation right now, you have what, $2.8 trillion dollars worth of worth of money that's in circulation as of like right now. And it may be a little bit different. I think the numbers that I was getting was from years ago.
So yeah, you get the idea. Have a clear plan, have a clear goal of where you think the price is going to be. It could be 100 million per XRP. I'm not saying it's going to be. Again, not financial advice, but it makes you a pretty clear path that you can at least follow and go over here and see, okay, if XRP hits, if my like XRP hits $5 per coin, I'm selling some. And then $10, I'm selling some. $15, selling some. But it's going to be hard to, go from there. This is the issue we have right now. It's going to be an uphill climb, and going up and up and up is getting really hard at this point to like do this small climb. So I'll keep you guys updated with more content. Smash that like.